I started because, my father is a nuclear engineer and he wanted me to study engineering as well.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was not interested at all. I mean, I
Wow.
tried, but I was like, spending all the money he was sending to me to buy records. I was born in Cavadalica, 500 people living there,
Wow.
away from everywhere. When I told my father I want to DJ, he was like, did you realize where are you living? I mean, this
Yes,
job
yes.
needs connection, needs a
Right.
network. He was aware. I mean,
Yeah.
said, how can you do it living here? So
Yes.
you have to move maybe in New York or maybe, I don't know, at least in London or in
Right.
somewhere where things are happening. Everything, every element. All my music is already here in my heart and my mind before I go in the studio. I never
Really?
go in the studio if I don't have this feeling. People ask me, oh yeah, how?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to the studio and trying to jamming, finding the idea. I already had it. Otherwise, I don't go. Because a friend of mine told me, we are going there for a week. You want to come over? I say, yeah, okay, bring the records with you. I said, what for? You do never know. There are clubs there. Maybe we're going to
Like-
play. I said, okay. So with 2 heavy box, we went to the boat, going to Malta, asking every club, can we play some music? So the guy who was running the party was very well known as a crazy guy.
Yeah.
So everybody was a bit like expecting something strange, but not this strange. So at one point, this guy didn't like the music, and he went to the guy saying, "Okay, you bag it off. I have enough." Now, and he called me to play.
Oh yeah.
I was like a bit embarrassed. So he grabbed one of them and he in the water, and the boat was running. Because in the past, there was only one thing you should pay attention to. Are you a good DJ or not? You're playing good music, you're putting them together, you have a story to tell or not.
Hello guys, so excited to be back to my channel. But before we start, I want you to like, subscribe, and comment this podcast because we spend so much effort, time, and energy to make this happen, and we would really, really appreciate your support. But let me go back and introduce you to one of my, let me tell you, this artist has been inspired me from very, very, very beginning. His music, his songs, I played all the time. Every single set, there's always one song from this guy, and his name is Musumeci. Hello.
Hello everybody. Thank
How's
you
it
for the
going?
invitation.
Of
All
course.
good. I'm great. Thank
Super
you.
excited to have you in New York.
Yes, it's my
First
pleasure.
time for Ionia,
Yes,
the party that we're
definitely,
having
yes.
tonight. Tell me, how is your journey? How is life? How is traveling?
Life is good. Right now I'm traveling quite a lot.
Yes.
It's, even though I decided this year to travel a little bit less because last year was crazy, so it was like more than 138 gigs. And so
Wow.
I was always away from home. So I was like, okay, this year maybe I will take it a little bit more easy,
Okay,
Just-
nice.
I mean, not that much more, but a little bit less.
Okay,
just-
okay. More conscious.
Yeah, maybe 100 gigs is enough.
Okay, 30 gigs less.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yes, I feel you. I feel you. I was reading today actually that you started back in 1980s in Sicily.
Yes, late.
Late
Yeah,
80s.
Yes.
Tell me, how was your journey from back in the days till now? How was the whole musical journey?
I would like to say it was unexpected because
Really?
because when I started, I had no idea of such a things that was gonna happen now. No.
How did it started then?
I started because okay, it's funny because my father is a nuclear engineer and he wanted me to study engineering as well.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was not interested at all. I mean, I
Wow.
tried, but I was like, spending all the money he was sending to me to buy records. It was, yeah, it was like a comedy. My father's first visit to the university was like records everywhere in
Oh
the
my
corridor,
God.
in the bathroom, in the living room. So it was like, what's
What
going on
yeah,
here?
yeah.
So that this is what I wanted to do. And actually, that was crazy because back then there was no DJ job. I mean, this was not a job; it was just a hobby. You could
Right.
play in the neighbor's club. Just maybe getting paid. You never know. So it sounds crazy, and it's not that I had a vision. That I knew that one day that will be my job. I was completely crazy, and I understand
Wow.
my father was like, "You serious?"
Yeah, yeah.
So I would say it was unexpected because so back then I had no idea. I just fall in love with these things to play the music, because actually music was the thing I find that was really my way to communicate. Because yeah, when I was young, I was less communicative than now, and I find that in music a way to express my feelings
Wow.
and myself in a proper way. So and I also start to compose music, because I find out that composing was exactly even a stronger way to communicate yourself.
To express
Yeah,
your
to
feelings
express your
and-
feeling.
yeah.
Yeah, because when you choose a track, you can't communicate through that track, but when you compose the track,
Absolutely.
you are putting yourself there exactly how you want it to be.
I would say I love every single song that you made, and I always play, like even last night I played Pawn Storm.
Storm, yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs. I'll make sure to play this in the background. And there's this guy came up to me. Oh wow, I love this. This song is like the Ibiza song. Like this is so perfect. And I'm sure you get this a lot. That like since you've been doing this a lot, you play your songs and people recognize you by the songs that you made.
Yeah, I mean, the process of making music for me, it's as I said, it's like I'm healing myself, and and most of my music, almost all my music, comes from a feeling that I already have some times before. For example, Pawn Storm was just I remember the moment I felt that song. I was in Istanbul. And
Yeah.
I was just traveling, the party finished, and I was going back to the hotel, and I was getting this car going through the Bosphorus. I mean, actually, Istanbul is a very unique city,
Yes,
because
yes.
it's connect two continents.
Absolutely.
So this bridge connect Europe to Asia. So I was doing this trip. It was just a morning light, and I was feeling this melody, this atmosphere, happy atmosphere. I mean, the song carries that happy and melancholic
Yes, absolutely.
atmosphere together. And the first thing I did when I came back home, I was like, I just closing my eyes and say, okay, I hear the melodies of that. I wanted to put it exactly there. And so I made it in 20 minutes, half an hour, which
Wow.
is basically the time I need to make a track, because
Wow.
the track is already here.
Wow.
I just need to put it there.
You came up with the melody itself in your head while
Everything,
you were...
everything, every element. All my music, it's already here in my heart and my mind before I go in the studio. I never
Really?
go in the studio if I don't have this feeling.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow,
that's why
very
I'm fast, because that's why people ask me, oh yeah, how?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to the studio and trying to finding the idea. I already had it. Otherwise, I don't go. I don't like to waste time trying to find something.
Interesting. You know, it's always fascinated me. Like, whenever I hear amazing songs like Pawn Storm, or like even the People Are Still Having Sex, I always wanted to know, like, how was the process of
Yeah.
making this song? You know, what inspired you, or like what about this song? It's, I mean, all the
People are still
yeah,
having
yeah.
sex? I
This
mean,
song
I
is a
can- I
hit.
can- yeah, but I can tell you. I mean, this song belongs to the early 90s. It's a cover
Yes.
of La Tour, which is a band I will always love it. I mean, I remember, actually, I discovered La Tour with the track that was it came later compared to People Are Still Having Sex. And his name was Blue. It was in the Basic Instinct movie, which famous movie. But there is this scene there in the club dancing, and there is this track in the club, and it's called Blue by Latour, and I was like, it was amazing track. So I instantly tried to understand what it was, and then I fall in love with Latour, and I discover also the previous track. And I was always thinking that People Are Still Having Sex, which actually was released back then, and it was a controversial song because it was in the AIDS
Yes,
period.
yes, yes.
So People Are Still Having Sex was a message like saying, people don't care, they die, but they still do it.
Yes,
They don't
yes,
care.
yes.
It was a very strong message. I was strongly connected also with the club scene because AIDS. Unfortunately, it was something that was also spread
Right,
in the
right,
nightclubs.
Especially
because
back then, in those
back
times.
then, yeah, New York was heated.
Yeah, it was
very,
crazy, yeah.
it was crazy. So it was a very important song related to our club culture, and I always wanted to do it as a
Wow.
cover. Yeah, and but I was always trying and never happy with it. because it's not an easy song to redo. I mean,
Uh-huh.
because I like to, when I do this kind of things, I like to respect the spirit in the track,
Right.
but I also want to put myself in it.
Exactly.
So it's this kind of combination. It's not easy. You have to be careful, because I would hate myself for make something really bad with a song I love. So the story is that I always had it in my mind to do it, but recently I was working on some new tracks, and all of a sudden find it by accident some some sounds that remind me the track, and I was like, okay, this is probably the sound I will always been looking for to replay the main melody of the song, because I didn't use the original song, the original sound,
Right.
just slightly different, and I wanted it slightly different, but still communicating this cold feeling, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
yeah,
dun,
yeah, yeah.
So, and then I find that then I was working recently to some project with the artificial intelligence, yeah, and then so I'm doing sometimes some vocals with the artificial intelligence. So since this is a cover, I needed a recording of the vocals, and it was also not so easy to find a character to sing that song and sounds this deep as the
Exactly.
original without being the original song.
Right, right.
So I also
So that's AI that's singing.
yes.
Wow.
It's like in the party, the track I did with Dodi on Innovision. It's also AI singing. Yes.
Wow,
And
that's
actually, I tell you
amazing.
something. It's Goku from Dragon Ball.
No way.
Yes,
Wow. I would never think.
I would never either. I mean, my friend is working developing this application, his own application with this thing, and he was showing me something last year, and we were like, okay, we should try, because it sounds so good.
Yes.
It's just to try. I'm curious. I
Yes.
don't like artificial intelligence to replace myself or anyone.
Yes.
But I like the idea to try and to see what's going on, and to
Wow.
find some.
But now you were saying that you're not good with technology. It seems like you're ahead of a
No,
lot
no,
of
no. I'm,
DJs.
no. I'm good with technology. I just like it to not lose the old school touch, which for me means to not never forget that it's
Your
not.
background.
No. It's for me. This is very important. It's not about how easy it is,
Yeah.
but how consistent and meaningful it is. Because life is beautiful not because it's easy, but because you make it meaningful, and,
Right.
and so you need effort. The fact that technology make things easier, this for me is the part I don't like.
Oh wow,
Y-
really?
Yeah, because I don't think we need an easier life. We need a meaningful life.
Right.
And I mean, can be easy as well.
Yeah.
But not. This is not my main thing. I don't want think easier. I just want to think making sense.
Okay.
If they
I
are
like
easy,
that.
better. But
Yes.
my first goal is to look at what it makes sense for myself.
I totally agree with that, and I would never think that it's when listening, like people are still having sex, it sounds very like so nice, so in balance and easy that you would never think that people has to go through a lot of roads and making things together to try, but because it's like sounds so perfect, like the chords, the
Yeah.
melody.
But if you analyze all my songs, they are simple. Because my way of composing is very very classic. I always combine the few elements that you normally find in any band. So I have a drum patterns, I have a bass line, I have a keyboards, I have a vocal, occasionally, or I have a hook. So if with 5-6 elements the most, you don't have a track that you are happy with, it probably is the idea not working, because there's no much more needed in music. As music is a sonic combination of frequencies. So once everything is on place, if you're still not happy with the song, maybe the song is not so good, You don't need to add or to, think, oh, it's something missing. No, maybe the idea is not good enough.
Yeah, it's like all the great stuff are very simple, right? All the beauty and the whole thing.
Yes, you need one bass line, you need the drums patterns, you need a hook, you need, a rhythm patterns, maybe guitar or a synth or whatever, but you don't need more than that. If you have all the elements in place and the song's still not running for you, it means maybe the hook is not good enough, or the vocals is not good enough, or the drums hasn't got the right rhythm, you know. But it's not about adding; it's about maybe changing completely.
Okay, I agree. But when I listen to your songs and your music, there's always, you have your own signature, you have your own style. And I want to know, has your style been changed over the years? Have you tried different genres, or you always stick to one from the beginning and
Yeah,
you've
sure.
been
That's an
keeping to that?
interesting question. The thing is, I believe music is a language, right? I mean, we can use it to express ourselves. And as a language, you know, there are people using somebody else's words to express themselves. I mean, actually, we all do. I mean, we
Yes.
don't invent new words.
Yes.
But the way we put one words after another one, it makes our personality. It creates who we are,
Yes.
and even our thoughts, the way we put them together. It's so. What I was trying to find in music all the time was my personal signature in the sense of my personal way of saying things. I'm not going to say anything new, but I'm going to say it my way. This is what I'm trying to do. So with music, it was a process, because you know, when you start, it's like you are a baby, so you don't know how to speak. So the first thing to do is how to learn the language. So that's why in the beginning, when I started to produce, I was spending hours and hours, days, weeks in the studio, not even going, sometimes forgetting to hit,
Wow.
because I wanted to learn how to do it. So before you try to speak, you need to know, have a vocabulary. So
Absolutely.
and music, this means to have the knowledge of the instruments you're using, how they work. Because if you have something in mind and you want to put it in music, you need to know how to do it. It's not
Right.
just the notes, because which sounds you're going to use to create that emotion you want. And you want to use the chords. What kind of chords? You want a synth chord? You want the piano chord? You want an organ? What do you want? You know, you need to know all the how every sound works, the combination of them, and also listen to a lot of music to understand difference between the styles, because also the styles makes, you know, to be familiar with music styles, give you the chance, when you have to express yourself, to borrow some things from here and there and make your own discussion. So basically, for years, I would say for at least the first 10 years, 15 years, I was challenged myself with everything. So I produced new jazz, I produced hip hop, I produced electro, I produced every kind of electronic dance music.
Wow.
And it was just, the process was just the imitation process, you know, just trying to copy somebody else. Because, you know, I wanted to learn the language, so
Right.
I need to know. So I want, I like this new deep house style. Let's do some deep house stuff. So just to learn the language. Then after that, I was able to finally say something in any genre with any style, but being myself. Because at one point I had enough skills to produce my own language, my own speech with my own words.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love
I
that.
think it is a process that needs time.
Yes, absolutely. It's like with everything, right? Like before you go as a surgeon to operate people, you need to learn how to use your
course,
tools,
of
and
course.
it's the same with music. But I want to know, like, you started back in the days, and how did the music scene change? Like, what do you like and what you don't like about past and
Yes.
now?
It changed like as much as the world changed. Everything is completely
Absolutely, yeah.
different. Yeah. I mean, there's no one thing which is the same.
Exactly.
So if I think back in the past, you know, even the whole process, let's image the process of the music business, how it was and how it still is. So there's the DJ or the producer, you know, the DJ is what it does. It needs music to
Right.
play, okay? And how did you find this music? So 35 years ago, there was no internet. You couldn't
Right.
type a title or even an artist and find anything.
Or
anywhere.
download music
Or
from
da-
internet.
No,
Yeah.
no. You have to go to the record shop. In the
Right.
record shop, there is a guy who was listening for days music for you to propose you the news. And sometimes you have no idea, or most of the time, you have no idea what you're going to listen to. So, and you spend a day in the record shop listening to these vinyls and vinyls and vinyls. Then
Wow.
you choose your collection, and the next problem is, where am I going to play now? I cannot record a podcast and upload it on my SoundCloud and let the people listen. No, The only thing to do it was just to hope to play in the club nearby, and it wasn't easy because there was the resident DJ playing there. Why he should give you a chance? It wasn't like this, easy like this. So the next problem was like, how can I get a gig to show myself to the people,
skills, yeah.
and my skills, and also practicing hours and hours because, to match two track together. It wasn't easy like it is now. I mean, now technology can help you a lot.
Digitals,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
even if you're not using, because so many people say, oh, there's the sync button. Listen, you don't need the sync button. The CDJ just displays you the BPM.
Right.
Just copy it on the other one. You get the track on the right time. You don't even need the sync, you know?
Yes.
But, I mean, so basically, or I don't know, imagine you wanted to promote your music or to find a label. Oh, that was so almost impossible. Because, because, how did you write a label? What did you send to a label? MP3? No, you have to do a recording, professional recording on that. It was called a digital cassette. And so you need a studio. So now with a computer, you are done.
You're right.
You fulfill it with all the plugins you need. In one computer, you have maybe 100,000 euros studio, and you don't need anything else. You can produce your MP3, send it to the label via email 1 second after you finished. Back then, no, that's completely different. I'm not, I'm not saying it was better or worse. It's just
Different
another world completely.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
and everything changed with the internet. I mean, internet changed everything because the problem was the connection. In the past, the biggest problem was how to connect things, how to connect myself to the world. And now this problem is completely solved because you are connected to the world even too much.
I like that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people say, but you were saying that it was harder to become a DJ before than now.
I wouldn't say it was harder. It was very,
Just less opportunities, I would say.
I would say that, I tell you why it wasn't harder. Because in the past, there was only one thing you should pay attention to. Are you a good DJ or not? You're playing good music, you're putting them together, you have a story to tell or not. Now, on top of this, you have to put, are you good on communication skills? Are you good on your social networks? Are you good on your offline networks? Are you good on promoting yourself?
Absolutely.
Are you, involved in the right environment that can help you to your skills to bright and to make you happen? It's much more complicated now. Before, but it's a different complication. In the past, the complication was how can I connect to the world? Because if I was born in Cavadalica, 500 people living there, 500 people, away from everywhere. When I told my father I want to DJ, it was like, you realize where are you living?
Wow.
What kind of, I mean, this job
yes.
needs connection, needs a network, he was aware.
Big point,
Said, how can you do it living here? So
Yes.
you have to move maybe in New York or maybe, I don't know, at least in London or in somewhere where things are happening, So that was biggest problem so it was not for everyone, or if you want to do it, you have to travel to put yourself in a big challenge.
Wow.
And now the challenge is different, but it's also big because it involves much more elements.
Yes, because I feel like back in the days it was about music, but now it's about
It's
the artist.
it's still about music, but there is a lot more.
Yes.
So sometimes music can be secondary for some people, but this is a misunderstanding. If any DJ thinks music is secondary, then there is making a mistake because DJ world is about music first of all. But nowadays, with only taking care of your music knowledge, you are just doing the 20% of the job. You need much more to know.
Absolutely.
You need to know marketing, communication strategy, everything. You need to be you are a business company now.
Right. You have I feel like the DJs are becoming a brand.
They are.
Like the name, the face, the look, the way they dress,
Absolutely,
how many
yes.
people
And you
follow
have to treat them like that.
Exactly. I'm not sure if it's a good or bad thing though. Like I feel like it would A lot of people say, a lot of DJs that started back in the days, they were telling me that before people wouldn't even know how the DJ looked like. They would know their music, they would know their signature, their style, but they wouldn't even know how that DJ looked like.
I know, that's true,
you know?
but that's the past. You know, there are so many other things. I mean, 35 years ago, if I wanted to meet my friends in the, in the main square of the city, I just was just going out and meet them.
Right.
You know, now you need 10 calls. Where are you? Oh, I'm there. I'm around the corner. You know, and you get lost if they don't pick the phone. Is it worse or is it better? I mean, I don't know. This is our time. It's changing. I don't judge this. I believe that the most important things are still the most important things, and you shouldn't, make the mistake to don't understand it, because if you want to DJ, still music is the first thing.
Absolutely.
But then you need to know that accordingly with the time, and time change so fast, the way to succeed is different. So you need to grow accordingly. So
and go with the time hand in hand. I think that's very
of course,
important.
and it's a luck is everything, I mean, because train pass for everyone. But if you're not there at the right moment to jump in the right train, you won't happen anyway.
It's funny that you're saying about the luck, because I bring it up a lot of time that I do believe in luck. I believe that you have to be in the right place, right time, knowing the right people that can, just like a ladder that takes one and then after another and then others. Would you say that luck helped you, like you were lucky
Absolutely,
in
yes.
certain places
Yes,
to be where you are now?
Absolutely. Without being lucky, I wouldn't make it, of course. But we have to understand every one of us probably has his own definition of luck.
Yes.
For me, for example, I remember when I was 20, I had a lot of opportunities as well, but I miss all of them. And
Really?
why? Yeah, and I used it a little bit, but then I couldn't make it.
Why?
I know why, because I was not ready. Because
But that's not about not using the opportunity. It's like it's not the right time.
exactly,
You know?
but this is part of the luck. How do you build the luck? To being ready or whatever time it comes. So this means that you have to build your own luck by being ready, which means, I was pretending to achieve some things when I was not ready. So there's no luck that can help you there. Actually, your luck is to not make it. Because if you make it against your lack of knowledge and your lack of knowing what you're doing, is a disaster, in my
Absolutely.
opinion. You are in a big risk. You can't have dramatic ends. It's better to lose the opportunity because it's not the right moment.
Yes.
So I think my own definition of luck is work hard to be ready to take the opportunity the moment it will show, because everyone has it. Every one of us has the moment that an opportunity comes. And all the difference is you will be ready to take it or not. And in this sense, you build your own luck by working hard and being able to recognize, oh, this is my opportunity, and I'm ready to take it. So it needs patience, hard work, all things that are against the easy life. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like easy things, because easy things don't prepare you to take the opportunity when it comes. All the hard work does.
I totally agree, and I think you need to also not only the luck, but I think you also need to be bold enough to take that opportunity. Like if you really want it, you're gonna take it and you're gonna make it.
Yes.
Because I believe that like people under stress, they find different solution to make it when people are in their comfort zone. You know what I mean?
See.
Like I can relate to that. When the opportunity came to me, they called me and said, hey, do you know this artist? It's a big name. And I didn't know that artist. And I said, yes, I know that artist. And they told me, okay, do you want to play? It's in 2 days. I was like, yes, I'm going to play. And I didn't know how to play on CDJs, just so you know. I didn't know the DJ, and it's a big name. It's plays for all the big shows now. And I didn't know how to play CDJs, but I said, yes, I'm going to do it. But I knew that if I fuck up this situation, I'm going to be in big trouble. So I spent days and nights in studio practicing that I came in, I played, and after that, it's just like boom, 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 boom,
Yes, good. You were brave.
I
In
think
this in this case, your luck was to be a brave person, because so many other people would say, "Ah, no, it's not enough the time. I will not be ready." For example, me, I wouldn't do it because I like to be ready, and I would feel like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be ready. I'm not gonna do it." So and my lack of braveness wouldn't allowed me to take what you took. I mean, so that's the beauty of being also different, and everyone has his own personality,
Right.
and the way luck and your success is developing and expressing in your life is totally unique.
I totally agree. But I want to know, like, you just said that you came from the place where it's only 500 people.
Yeah,
So
small
how did you
village.
start, like, playing? How did you made it? Like, what was the next journey after you said, okay, I want to play? What did you
Yeah,
do?
that
Like,
the
did you
fir-
move to another city?
No, 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 no. I had no idea. I was not even believing in that the necessity of a network, because in my mind it was not even about being successful, playing in big clubs or having a career. I was not thinking any of this. I was just in love with the feeling that I had when I was playing the music, because I was a kid. I had a lot of friends, but I was never comfortable with them since the moment I was playing music. So when I was playing music, I was just having my role in this world. So it was the thing that makes me feel good. That's why I wanted to do it. So then the consequence was like, okay, any of my friends' birthday was an occasion for me to play. I wanted to play. That was my spot, you know. That was my spot in the world for me. So as an adolescent, as a 17, 16 years old, for me that was the reason to exist. And so my next step was just like finding more and more chance to exist. And then I moved to another city few years later to study at the university, but just for 1 year. Then I came back and I moved to another country. And I was 19. I moved in Malta, which is a small island in the Mediterranean, just 90 kilometers from Sicily.
Wow,
1 hour
okay.
and a half boat from where I live.
Yes.
And I started to DJ there because a friend of mine told me, we are going there for a week. You want to come over? I said, yeah, okay, bring the records with you. I said, what for? You do never know. There are clubs there. Maybe we're going to
Play.
play. I said, okay. So with 2 heavy box, we went to the boat, going to Malta. And we were spending literally every night going out with this heavy box, asking every club, can we play some music? You know?
Wow.
So this is how it started internationally, because then one of those nights, we find this club and the music was amazing. I said, bro, this is the place.
Wow.
Don't move. We sit here. We don't go if they don't let us play. So, and I
Wow.
was so shy to ask, but my friend was the man. So he went to the boss and say, oh, listen, my friend, this bad DJ. Let him try to play. Said, oh, no, no, no. Then luck again, you know.
Wow,
There was a DJ from UK supposed to come, and this flight was cancelled.
Oh,
So it didn't
wow.
arrive, and the guy was like, okay, you have a chance.
Yes.
If you want,
Yes.
you have a spot now. You have 2 hours. But the first track you play, I don't like, I kick you out. I said, okay. So I started to play, and he never stopped me till 7 in the morning. Then he came
Wow.
to me and he said, okay, you know, you got a job. Your apartment is in the hotel next to the club, second floor. Go to the, you know, get your key. This is the money we give you for weekly. We have 3 clubs. I didn't even know.
Wow.
So you're gonna play here on Saturday and Sunday, but then you have from Monday to Wednesday to this other club. I was like, okay, is this paradise? You know.
Wow.
So this is how we started. So for 3 years, I stayed in Malta, and I was going in London in the winter time because meanwhile, I developed some friends there from UK. And the first year, after the summer, the first year, winter in London, my friends used to have a big studio. So I entered the studio and I was like, oh, okay, so this is where they make the music I like. This is how they do it. Oh, okay. So I was just, my first winter in London was just studio every night, watching other people working. I never went out to go something like, oh, we have a pizza. No, 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 I'm going to the studio, preparing tea for people, but I wanted to see how it works.
Wow.
Yeah, then my friend asked me once, like, oh, we have a free time. Maybe you want to try to do something. Disaster. I have no idea what to do. But then at the end of the next year, I produced my first record.
Wow.
Yeah, it was funny because nobody wanted. So I said, okay, I'm going to produce it myself. We went to the distributor. I don't remember. I think I spent a couple of £1,000. and we pressed 1,000 records. I think I still have 950 somewhere, like in a shelf. They didn't sold anything, but it was,
Really?
yeah, that was funny.
But it's like the beginning of your
Yeah,
career.
the beginning. We
yeah?
are talking about 92, I think.
Wow.
92. That was my first record, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then I read that in 2017 you created EP for Solomon's label Dynamic,
yeah.
and that's when all the international festivals,
Yeah,
clubs
yes,
opened up for
yeah,
you.
Yes, I mean, actually, Solomon was very important, but I would say that because the first person who played a Musumeci track internationally,
Yes.
it was Christian Ham.
Oh.
Ham was the first DJ who recognized my music, and he
Wow.
played out actually in Sonar 2014, and he played, and then the day after Dixon played,
Wow.
and then Solomon played. After a
Wow.
back-to-back with Christian, Solomon's like, what is this track? And we started to
Oh.
play it for years.
Uh-huh.
And then that's how we met.
Mm-hmm. That's how you met with Solomon, you mean?
See.
Yes.
I
Uh-huh.
owe everything to Christian Ham.
Really?
Yeah, he knows. I've been telling him many times. Without Christian Ham, there was no Musumeci.
Wow. So it's again luck, like
Yeah,
knowing the right
exactly,
people who
yes,
would
yes,
play the song at the right time.
Yeah, and it's funny because that track, 6, is called 6 in Roman numbers. It's funny because I sent it to many people, nobody wanted. So once again, I said, okay, I'm going to release it on my label.
Yeah.
And exactly that particular track, I was like saying to Dodi, my partner on the label, like, I like all the 7 tracks, but this track 6, maybe I shouldn't release. What do you think?
Wow.
Maybe we take it out. And he was like, no, it's good. Why not? I mean, put it. It's one more. Why not? So thanks to him telling me, no, don't put it back, the release, I'm here. Otherwise,
Wow.
it was, was impossible. So,
See
so
how-
if you ask me about luck, of course I believe it.
Oh wow!
Of
It
course.
seems like you had a lot of luck in your life, and
Yeah,
it's.
yeah.
But I also believe that luck happens to good people that are willing to take it. Because I heard really really nice things about you, like our close friends. They had you for their private party in Mykonos or in
See.
Athens.
See.
They loved you, saying like you're such a nice person, because there are so many artists and DJs that a little flown away with their ego, that they get their mind get blown away, but the people that stay humble no matter what, they're appreciated so much. And those are the people that were telling us, oh, he's amazing, the music is great. And that's how we got you to play us for tonight. And
Thank
they
you very
also
much.
want to have you to play for their bachelor party. So there's a lot of story happening.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with saying that luck has to do a lot with people, because I know a lot of people that has so many great music, spend so much time,
Yeah,
but
and
they're
they
not
don't-
there,
Yeah,
which is sad too.
Yeah.
So you said that after that song, everything started happening.
Yes. Of course, you need something that helps you. And in
Right.
that moment, after so many years, because I produced music with many other aliases in the past, also pretty successful. But the difference now it was that in 2014, I was ready to take the opportunity on every level, especially the personal level. Because in the past, for example, there was a moment I even stopped the DJ for a few years
Why? Why was there a reason?
because I was uncomfortable with the world around me. Because I was not feeling anymore that joy of expressing myself, and I was focusing too much on the change, and I was like sentencing this change as something that were bad. So let's say that on the personal level, I was not mature enough to understand that change means new challenge and means new opportunities. And you like it or not, it's not important. What is important is the challenge behind that change, and if you're ready to take it or not. And if you're ready to take it, that's a chance. If you're not ready, you're going to close your world to the world, and you're going to close yourself all the opportunities, and in the end, you're not going to do what you want.
Absolutely.
So I think I was just immature, not mature enough to understand how to live in this world of continuous change, because I was dramatically in love with the past, with how it was, thinking all the time, no, this is not the world I joined it. No, I don't like anymore this, I don't like anymore that. I was becoming old. Then all of a sudden I had the chance to be young again, because
start everything
again,
again.
by luck, I met someone who reminds me what was the right way of looking at the things.
Wow.
Yeah. And this guy was Lorenzo, was Lair, my partner for so many years in the labels, and we have done so many things together. But he helped me on a personal level to understand this important thing, to not lose the touch with the enthusiasm and with the passion for challenges, and that keeps you young.
I agree. And I feel like change is an opportunity to start things again from the new, from the beginning,
Yeah,
you know?
from the
And I feel
beginning.
like there's always going to be times when, okay, you reached your ceiling. Now it's time to start again on a new
Yes,
level, on the
yes.
next level.
Absolutely.
And I feel like you are one of those artists that made such an amazing music. Is there a formula to create a hit? Because I heard one of the DJs saying, I figured out formula, but he didn't tell me what's the formula.
No, the formula, of course, formulas exists, because especially if you are making some music following the rules of some styles, you can simply identify which are the elements that makes a hit. The problem is not to know the elements. The problem is to have the right ideas, because with the same 5, 6 elements, I can do a huge hit or a just random track. It's not about the formula itself, but the elements of the formulas. So I can tell you what to do a good track, but it's going to be the idea that is going to make the difference in the end. So in the end, what makes the difference is what you have to say, and if this that you have to say, it's as in itself the power, the possibility to be easy to be taken from everyone, because this is what makes a hit. Why a hit is a hit? Because everybody can be catched by that
Right.
melody, that
Right.
hook, that atmosphere from the first instant.
Absolutely.
This is somehow magic. Of course, if you analyze the track, it has the elements I can tell you, but it's only those elements that particularly put them together work this way. So in the end, there is no formula. There is a formula, but there is not.
I guess it's like when you put your soul, you never know. You know,
Yeah,
you never know.
know.
Either you're gonna hit or it's
No.
you think that it's amazing, but it's not gonna work out,
No,
right?
but honestly, all the tracks of mine that were working better, was the one I less expected.
Really?
Yes, because I also learned in the years this other thing: never judge yourself what you're doing, because
Huh.
the thing is this: the moment you write the music, that's the creative moment.
Right.
This is the moment you express yourself. The moment you finish, it's outside. It's not. It doesn't belong to you anymore. You don't have the control anymore, and the feelings that carries goes worldwide.
Right.
Nowadays, you
Yes.
can say it because it's easy to be potentially worldwide, and then what happens is completely out of your control. You get in touch with the song, he get in touch with the song, somebody else get in touch, and what he feels, it's something I cannot control anymore. So basically, it's impossible to predict a hit.
Right.
Because you can say, oh, this track is so strong, this is going to be a hit. I don't know.
But it's also like I heard a lot of people saying that ideas are around us in the air,
Yes.
and it's just
Absolutely.
waiting for someone to take the risk and like to go to take it, and when it's through and let it out.
Yeah, but that's the challenge. That's why I like so much to produce the music, and I'm less interested in the rest of the process, because the creation process is the one I can control, the one I can enjoy, and this is my responsibility. That's what I like to do. Then to market the idea, it's another thing, and I'm less interested in it. It's exciting, but it's another thing. And to take the ideas that's where you should be focused to. Not is a hit or not a hit. What the focus is, oh, I feel this. Oh, I see this. I'm gonna grab it and I wanna put it out my way. Then the rest, whatever. I don't know. Maybe gonna be a hit. Maybe nobody's gonna care about it.
But it doesn't matter anymore.
Doesn't matter. No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter at all because the moment I finish to do the tracks, for me, it's finished. I don't care anymore.
So, so the lesson is that to learn to enjoy the process, but not look for the finishing line. Like this is now. Now I'm creating
For
this.
me,
That's
yes.
it.
For me, the
Yeah.
only reason why I can say that I will compose music till the day before I die is that I'm interested in this process. That makes me happy. I feel good. When a melody comes from my heart into the keyboards and they go out of the speakers and I can listen to it and I can enjoy it, this is my goal. It ends there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. What is like the most bizarre or like crazy gig that you ever had since you played so many places, so many countries, so many times?
Yeah, there's so many crazy that I cannot just name one. But one that make me laugh that I think I will never forget. But I won't say names because this
Yes,
is very,
okay.
very heavy.
Yes.
So I was playing in this party it was a boat party.
Okay.
So there was a good lineup, very big DJs. And so there was this duo playing. So the guy who was running the party was very well known as a crazy guy.
Yeah.
So everybody was a bit like expecting something strange, but not this strange. So at one point, this guy didn't like the music, by the way. So he went to the DJs and he said, okay, just
And
bag it off.
someone else was playing.
Yes, there was this two guys playing.
Okay.
And he went to the guy saying, okay, you bag it off. I have enough. Now, and he called me to play.
Oh yeah.
I was like a bit embarrassed. But then the guy didn't want to leave the DJ booth, so he grabbed one of them and he in the water. And the boat was running.
Oh my
So
God.
the DJ was in the water and everybody was like, laughing, clapping, yelling. And the guy was like, Mauro, come to play. And I was like, oh, what is going to happen to me? I'm going to be the next. You know, I was really, really scared. But in the end, everything went well for me.
Wow.
The other guy was rescued, but you know.
Well, you were under pressure to
Of
play
course,
well.
of course. Every record I was looking around me is somebody coming to pick me up and bring me in the water too. You know. I was like, so that was something hilarious I will never forget, but also very embarrassing because I was constantly playing all the time, having the fear of being the next. in
Thrown
the water.
away.
Yeah.
Was he like a mafia or something?
Probably, I don't know. But some guy that is allowed to do something like that probably is
Wow.
not a normal person.
I feel like in a nightlife, there's a lot of people like that, right?
But
like
this was very I think it was 93 or 94.
oh, back in the days, they were
Nowadays would be anywhere on resident advisor, and this guy probably wouldn't do any party anymore.
oh, so he was the party organizer.
He was the owner of the party. Yeah, of
Ah,
course. of course.
Wow. Okay. But you know, it's like that's very disrespectful to other people when you like you come and just like I witnessed one time that this one art car in Burning Man, and we stayed at that camp and the DJ was playing. And the owner, the organizer, came and he just switched it off. He removed the plug and that was it.
Listen, it is absolutely insane. You
It's-
don't do that. And back then, you know, if I think now, the reaction of all the crowd, even my reaction back
Yes.
then, I wasn't disappointed. I
Yeah.
was scared.
Yes.
But I played. I didn't say like, no, what is that? You know, I didn't
Yes.
feel like, oh, this guy was disrespected. This is not right, so I'm not gonna play. Or the people saying, oh, what is he doing? No, everybody was laughing. It was just a different kind of world. So back then, this was normal, and I actually believe it was not. But back then, I couldn't have the possibility to see how wrong it was. But now I see it, and for me, it is very rude, and I would never accept to be witness of such a things and just say nothing, you know?
I see. Yeah. It's like I think that's a good thing about how the time is changing and we see
Yeah,
what was not
yes.
okay before.
We're more
it's-
conscious now of
Right.
ourselves, of the people around us, of what respect means, of you know, so many good things.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think we're living in a better world.
I agree. I think we're living in a best world. You know,
Yes,
we
yes.
saw
This is the
that
best
world.
world possible. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm fortunate with the good and the bad, but this is what I think. So.
But you have to find, I feel like there is never a bad times. I feel like there's always something, the time has over good things and the bad things. Like, I feel like what I like about the past, what people tells me is that back in the days there were no phones, that people could go
Yeah.
crazy the way they want. There was no difference between middle class or upper class.
Yeah.
Everyone was the same. Everyone was
Yes.
on the dance floor dancing, and no one could capture. And they were
Let's
there for the
see.
music,
See,
dancing,
it
and
was the party was the main reason to experience exactly this. Because if you were going in a party in the 80s or in the 90s, you could really see this reality. I mean, this all melting pot of people together with the, I mean, normally never getting this close in other opportunities. So that's why the party scene and why we are talking about culture and club culture, because this was a cultural revolution to have all these people together, all different, of all color, all creeds, that nobody, it was a revolution. Now what you see in the clubs, and this is unfortunately something I hope is going to change, because it's not only about the phones or the fact people are distracted by other things that they are not enjoying the party itself. The problem is there is no communication between people sometimes, and you see all of them in their own little words, and this is exactly what the party is not. We are all there to have an experience together of another level of communication through the music, to making a great experience that cannot be reproduced in another way. So this is the what I kind of not like of nowadays, or let's say I hope is going to change. I hope people are going to be more aware of what we are doing when we're going out to party. We're going out to party not to be there, but to enjoy the moment, which is a moment of community, a moment where my humanity get in touch with your humanity, my soul get in touch with your soul, and it doesn't matter how you dress, which class you belong, which who
yes,
are you.
yes,
Well,
yes,
it doesn't matter.
yes.
What matters is to have fun together and use this opportunity to destroy some barriers that sometimes in the normal life we are not allowed to do it.
I
In a
agree.
normal situation, on the street, sometimes we are not able to destroy that barriers that let us disrespect the others or doesn't allow us to understand and to feel the others. In a club, in a party, you can destroy this barrier. You just have to let yourself go. But you can't let yourself go if you are there trying to
To
pick
pick-
the moment, the good picture, or to show you were there. You can't. So that's why, honestly, I know you cannot by force tell people to not use the phone. I don't like the clubs who tells you limit your freedom and close your phone. This I don't like it, but I understand
Yeah.
it's a kind of try to let people understand, guys.
Let's party.
Let's
Let's
party.
dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the way is right, but forcing people is never a good choice.
I
In
agree.
my opinion, people should develop awareness. They
Totally.
should understand that, oh, this is the thing, I want to do it.
Yes. When I go out in New York City, I see a lot of clubs and like parties that are like it's so many people that there's no vibe. Like what you said, people on their own world, like just standing and like there's no energy going on. But like, how do you create that? Like,
Unfortunately, what you are describing, it's a situation which is very common and is not belonging only to New York. It's everywhere in the world, and sometimes when you see that or experience that, it's a bit difficult. I mean, personally, for me, it's dramatic because I like to perform and to play the music, believing that it's not just me. We are doing it together,
Yes.
right? So I'm just part of the show. I'm just playing the music, but you are dancing, you are having good time, you are creating the vibe together. We are doing it together, right? The place, the people, the DJ. And when one of these things is not on place, it can be also the DJ not in the mood. I mean, it's almost impossible to create that magic. So if you are there ready to give your best to the party, and people are there, but they are there for other reasons. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. It's going to be a bad party. Unfortunately, it is like this, and there's nothing you can change.
When we have parties like in an intimate space, people when the DJ is right next to the crowd, like there's always the vibe. There's always this exchange of energy between the DJ and the crowd, and everyone is like vibing in the same rhythm.
Yeah.
You know, and when the DJs are somewhere there, when you can't even see the DJ, and the people are on their own there, like there's two different worlds. And I've seen DJs, big DJs, doing their own thing, and the crowd is like completely out of the whole thing, doing their own thing.
But let me tell you something more. Normally I experience that the best party is when people are there because they simply want to have fun. Imagine, recently on Sunday I played on a private party, on a wedding. It was crazy. They played till 7 in the morning, like there was no tomorrow.
Wow.
So beautiful in the jungle in Tulum, whatever, But the people, they wanted to party. They wanted to celebrate, So so back in the times, it was like, oh, you're playing on a wedding. Oh my God, feeling sorry for you, because it's supposed to be a place where you have to play funny music, or the vibe is like it's a wedding. But no, this wedding was like, you see, we are losing the simple things just to have fun. So a wedding is a good reason to have fun. And maybe it should be also, again, a simple gathering between friends, a good reason to celebrate and to have fun. And this is happening, unfortunately, not as often as it should, on my opinion. Because, what is in the past, you prepared yourself for Saturday night. You choose carefully what you're going to dress for Saturday night, what you're going to do, the people you're going to go out with, because you wanted to have fun. So you're going to choose the funniest one, or the craziest one, the one you have more feeling that the night is going to happen. You're not going to choose them by other reasons, and this was making the party going well, because everybody was there for one reason, having fun. We need to be back to that, absolutely. And somehow it will happen, because otherwise there's not going to be party anymore.
Totally. But I feel like a lot of people, they don't, especially like now, I see a lot of people, they don't really know the DJ. They don't really know who is playing or what music they play. They just following the crowd. They just like going where it's people think it's gonna be fun, when it's fashion to be the party. When the brand that has a marketing, a lot of followers, and the people just go there because they think that it's cool, it's fun, but it's actually not.
That's the problem, because that's the problem. That's what we lost. That's why there is. But listen, it must be said that there is a difference between these parties and parties that still are going on the old way, where people are just going because they want to have fun. And I tell you something, the first part of your sentence is not bad. It's actually brilliant. I love to play in place where the people don't know who is playing.
And surprise them, right?
Yeah, I like that people don't care about who is playing. I love if people don't know who I am, because it means they're not there for some superficial reason. Not because, there is that DJ is so cool, we have to go. No. They're there because they want to have fun. Maybe if they're there because something else is cool, it's another problem, okay? But I love when people don't know, because it means what drives them there. It's not the fashion, the name, or how cool is that thing. They don't know. Yes, if they follow the masses, it's also sad, but the idea of a crowd that doesn't know who's the DJ playing, I really like it. And actually, the best compliment I received in my life was in Zurich. I was playing in this party. Then I meet these guys, like 10 people in the backstage, and they were like, "Oh my God, the music was so good tonight. We have so much fun." And they were talking to me.
Oh,
I was
really?
playing to them. And they were like, "Oh my God, it was a really good night, blah, blah, blah." And this I don't know who was the DJ, but it was so good. So they didn't even look at me, because I was literally there, so they could recognize me. So I was like, okay, these guys have really fun. They were so much into the fun. They didn't have the time to look who was the guy playing. They just realized the music was great and they have fun. Okay, that's the best compliment you can get.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, That's why.
What do you think about the brands that have massive events and they travel around the world, but they bring the five same DJs everywhere? Like, what do you think about that?
I think it's an entertainment business. So they find a way to create a big entertainment for a big masses. They're making a lot of money. But personally, I tried to go in some of these events. I even played in some of these events. And I don't know. I think besides the business, there is very little things to
But
be
it's
interested.
because I see a lot of people are mainly doing business, but not really involved in am I actually bringing the music? Like, I don't see a point in bringing the same five DJ every single city all the time. You know,
It's
what's the difference that you're making?
well, that's only pure business, you know. There's some people in this is the music industry is a big business, and there are people genuinely interested into the business. They want to make money, and this is what they're doing. They are succeeding in this. That's good. If they are happy with that, I'm happy. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
it's not a problem. Listen, until the moment we have the option to choose, and there is space for what I believe it makes sense for me, I'm good with everything. Because you are free to do your business, I'm free to do mine. This is fair enough. I don't think we should go against each other. We just doing different things. You're doing pure entertainment for money. I try to have fun with people. It's a different thing. I'm not saying what I'm doing is better. It's just different, and I am for this.
I love that. What is the song that you would play? It was like, let's say this is the last song that you can listen before you die. What song that would be?
This is impossible question. I cannot answer.
There's
Maybe if I have to answer with a provocation, I would play Curtis Mayfield, Moving On Up.
We-
So saying no, it's not finished. We still are going for something else. That's if I have to make a choice. But I really don't know what I would play.
Because there's so many
So many,
amazing
yeah, of
music,
course,
and
so many
you can't
amazing.
limit to one, right?
No, one
Yeah.
it's impossible. No.
I love that. But what is the most special song that you made? Like that is always will be in your heart.
There are few, but there is one that I'm particularly in love with. This is my remix for Emmanuel Jal, Tichuang, because everything about that song was very weird. Was the one I never asked anyone to remix a song, but this was the first time I received the promo from the label. I listened to this song and I was like, "Wow, this is a beautiful song.
Wow.
I would love to make my own
Remix.
version of it." And because I know the owner of the label, I wrote him an email. Like, I love this song. It's amazing. Is there, if you ever think about making remixes, I proposed myself. And he was like, yeah, we just released it. The next release is going to be the remixes. We already have them. So I'm sorry. I said, okay, I tried. Then the morning after, he sent me an email like, okay, I just changed my mind. Here are the parts, just try. So I did the remix, not 1, 2. And at one point, I started to ask myself more about who is Emmanuel Jal, because I loved him as a singer. I knew it from before. But I was looking at the video, I was looking at the character, searching him. I said that this guy seems very interesting. Then I discovered he was an ex-baby soldier. And he's from Sudan.
Wow.
And he was actually working a lot to help all the other people with the same experience. So coming back from this war experience, and they were maybe baby soldiers.
Oh wow.
So when I finished the remix and Mimo said, okay, I said the name of the label, but everybody knows it's on Mo Black, so we're talking about Mimo Falcone. Yes. So basically, Mimo told me, oh, cool, I like the remix. Okay, what is the deal? I can give you 50%. This I said, listen, the deal must be, I want all the profit of this remix to go to the Baby Soldier organization by Emmanuel Jal.
Yeah.
And this is the only deal I want. And the funny thing is that we released the remix, and after 2 weeks, the big record label, I think was Sony in UK, came up with an offer to licensing it, and someone with good money, and Mimo was like, "Hey Mauro, we have this opportunity. So what we're gonna do?" I said, "That's the deal we have. Just
Yeah.
bring the money and go there." You know. So,
Wow.
and now it's one of the track I have the most play on my catalog, and I like to think that when there is special things involved in your intention, in your feelings, when you're doing something, they find a way to succeed also. You know.
The
So
intention.
the less ego there is around something, the less freedom the things experience as a in the process, and the biggest result can come.
Wow, I love that. Well, I really, really enjoyed this conversation. I feel like I could have gone for like 10 hours speaking to you and listening all your stories, but I know that our time is limited, especially yours. We are having a very fun night tonight. You are playing with Sandrino, and I
yes.
heard that you guys are good friends.
Very good friend. Yes.
Yes, and I'm really excited for your back-to-back
Yes.
set
I'm
tonight.
looking forward to
Yes.
it.
Thank you so much for your time and for your
Grazie.
stories. I honestly, this is one of my favorite podcasts. I love spending time and good conversation with people like you. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate if we can come back and continue our conversation another time for part
For
two.
sure, for sure.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Mauro.
so much. Thank
See
you
you
for
guys
the
later.
opportunity.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.